You said I just busted Shaley out twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our defense, we've been drinking a little.
I heard about that.
There we
Free
go.
podcasting. I enjoy that. Getting your game face on.
You know how that
Since we
song,
got-
I smoke 2 joints before I smoke 2 joints. I record 2 podcasts before I record 2 podcasts.
Isn't that
Cheers.
by the Toys? Is that
The
band
Toys
The
it
Toys?
is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we gonna ask Andy, or are we
I
just
was
gonna go
thinking-
just fucking steamroll it?
Well,
'Cause-
I didn't make it to Montana, if that's what you're asking. No, I'm still in Eugene.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Sitting in Smoke Valley, waiting for the fire to come over the hill.
How close is it to you?
It's in Springfield, so it'll probably do a bunch of meth and lose interest. Once the fire gets in there and it smokes all that meth up in Springfield, it'll probably just fizzle out after burning there. I don't see it make.
You don't think it'll start a bunch of little projects it never finishes before it gets there?
Right. Yeah, it's possible. They might, if they try to get help, then they could send a hot garbage sack over to warn the rest of us. We know, Springfield. We know you're on fire. A lot of us have thought about it for years. But when it gets there, it doesn't feel all that great.
Andy, is there a way to put your phone inside your respirator? That might be helpful.
He's just gonna sweat.
I'll take a little break here. The experts on the news, the so-called fake news, says you shouldn't be out in this air under any conditions. But I've been coming out to take bong hits and then clean off my weed plants of the ash. Because in case it doesn't burn to the ground. Oh, hey now. Don't touch the phone. What'd I do? Nope. Wrong.
You're fine.
Still there.
Yeah, you're good.
What'd I do? I hit the camera. Or
He
some
muted
shit.
it.
Unmuted?
No, you're good.
no,
you're
good.
fine.
Not if you heard me say that.
Well, I might be muted.
Yeah.
See me though?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can.
Yeah, you're fine.
Good, man.
I can't.
So
I'm
yeah.
not- but I'll be heading in as soon as I drink this beer.
All right.
But the fire's about 6 miles away.
Ooh,
And
that's
it's
close.
Not very windy, so that's good. We haven't got any alerts, but I've been getting them all fucking day, because different things here have been evacuating and shit. So, but so far so good.
So your phone's been beeping like one of the Penn State coaches back in the 80s. Amber Alerts.
Yep. Chairs hit showers.
Well, you needed something to put your bee problem into perspective, and now you don't
That'll
even
do
care.
it.
Yeah.
All right. I got to reestablish.
Hard to fight bees when you can't breathe.
I got to find the picture on this because I have them. Maybe can you guys see this? I'm going to put it on the.
Just
jar.
walk us around, dude. Why not?
Can you see that jar?
Oh shit!
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Are those
They can
bee?
smell-
Those are bee carcasses.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I saw-
those are the hornets.
There was one going around on the other corpses a minute ago, and I see he's lost Will. But I think it's because of the ash that they don't know where they're all coming to the smell of my bee jar, which is pretty rewarding. It took a few $1 million worth of damage and a lot of people homes, but I've got my bee situation. They're volunteering. I've been hosing off these guys.
Good.
I'm good. That's the first thing I did this morning is I got up and walked through the soot to get to my weed plants to give them a little rinse.
You're a good parent.
I'm not seeing the damage. I mean, it looks as green and lush as ever.
The plants, that's because I hosed them down with the fine mist to get all the ash off.
But
of
I'm
them.
not seeing anything. Not to discount your situation. I'm not seeing smoke or ash raining down on you.
Yeah, it's actually been like I set this out here because I thought it was. I mean, about an hour or so ago, it was nothing but smoke and shit. But it kind of cleared, so and the ash isn't blowing around right now. I've swept and hosed this deck off like 3 or 4 times though, because it just keeps building up. It's like snow overnight. There's a lot,
Yeah.
and then you off into everything. But I've been running around getting batteries. I tried to find a lantern, but everybody in town is sold out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I went.
it's a little late for that.
Yeah,
You need some
yeah.
rain. You guys get rain, don't you? Is there any
Right.
chance you're?
Like next week or something? But
Wow, that sucks.
Kentucky fire is fucking raging, and it's hit the Marcola Valley, or well, it's hit the Marcola area, which is it's creeping closer. It's up over, this way, but there's
It looks like it's east of you, Andy.
is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm looking at the
Well, it
highways
has
that
to
are shut
be.
down. Yeah.
My daughter's been giving me information like well, she's been demanding I don't go to Montana. It's like I'm assessing it day by day, but it looks like each day the threat is still looming. So as long as the wind and the fire is going, I don't really see getting out of here. It's like the Truman Show. Since we've started this show, my life has spiraled. It's still it's spiraling similar than it was, but now it's spiraling in more dramatic ways. So I feel like this is some sort of cursed show here.
Chicken or the egg, man. Chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
The annual forest fires in the Pacific Northwest are somehow related to this show.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, that and no.
God hates fags.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Oh, in the word, Lord.
Oh shit.
Well, anyway, not that I remember clearly.
Well, I think it's great that you're enduring the harsh conditions to give us crappy audio.
That it cleared up like this. No sun to be had or anything, but it earlier in the day, out and about, you could tell who the asthmatics were because they had the respirators like me, and but it's pretty fucking
It's
shrouded in gray and smoke.
Clearly, we can tell the sun's not out.
You guys,
finally solved your sun problem.
Yeah.
I know I know there's some good stuff going on. The bees are hitting, it's like fucking happy hour. I look at the bees. Do any of them even have masks on?
This is the thing, Andy. When you make those, when you find a genie's lamp and you make your wishes, you've got to be very specific. Just wishing that my bees would all go away and the sun wouldn't bother me on my podcast anymore isn't specific enough because that can lead to a whole other problem.
Well,
you got to add that in,
fellas. The monkey's paw is a real thing.
Here's what I've done. And I talked about but I'm prepared by wanting to burn this to running the numbers and the math and the science on torching my own place a few years ago. Today I got up on my roof and hosed it off and then got a brush pile that I forgot was up there a little bit from the trees and stuff. So I was like, oh yeah, all that stuff I intentionally did. I should go check to make sure. And it was still, so that's the thing. I could try to burn it down or not try to. It's a similar effect. Carelessness, careful. It's just, it works. It looks a little different,
Yeah.
You said the fire's about 6 miles from you, Andy?
I think I heard 6 or 7 miles away. Where it's
close.
Pretty close, dude. Be careful. Be ready to go.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm Scott. I don't
Wait,
have.
are both of you ready to go, or just you? I'm feeling like I forgot something, Mr. Squishles.
Mr. Squishles, did I forget anything?
Did I leave the
Mr.
oven on?
Squishles says I didn't.
Not everybody got on that plane with Leonard Skinner.
Oh shit.
The Big Bob.
We had a.
What happened?
Oh, your sound's going in and out on your phone.
Yeah. It's hard to tell when you're talking.
So when you're.
Why can't you just set the computer where your phone is?
You already got it set up inside. That's why.
Oh, just in case the.
Yeah, he's set up, ready to go in there. So you can just go in there whenever you're done with your beer.
I'm going like Mr. fucking Rogers. I'm gonna do a jacket change.
Oh, nice. Put on your slippers.
On your loafers, yeah.
I don't have the loafers. You know, the shoes aren't really. It's only a hat. Oh, God damn. There you go.
This is what the show should be anyway, frankly. Is Andy just walking around his yard.
Yeah, we should come up with a saw type apparatus that has a video that the user can like look at what Andy's looking at, or just go to his terrified face or his angry at the bees face or something. Yeah, that'd be great.
We going to the Airbnb, I think.
I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, this is affectionately known as the suite now.
Yeah.
And it's pretty sweet that I'm in here alone.
I love that even though I can't understand all of Andy's statements, I still know it's fucking hilarious.
You get just enough.
Wait a minute. During a fire taking over the state, Andy puts on a smoking jacket. Yeah. Really?
You got to lean into it.
Oh, he dropped the mic.
It's all right. He's gonna
the transfer from phone to computer is going to be interesting.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, it's fun.
You'll have to hang up.
Yeah.
That looked like footage of someone being arrested. No?
What's he doing?
I like that we don't try to fill the silence. We just enjoy
I think we gotta wait.
No,
yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, way to take the pressure off.
Yeah. No pressure, Andy. Yeah. If I would have guessed, I thought you were hijacking a boat right now, not going into an Airbnb that you own. Like it seems.
Oh, there you get it.
Hey, look at that.
Turn the air off.
I got mine going. Fuck it.
Pretty fucking loud in here. Hang on.
Yeah. Do you have the TV on or something? Oh, that's better.
Yeah. Now it's not loud anymore. I can't hear it.
Turn your
hey, that
input
fixed it,
down.
guys. How's it for you guys?
Yeah.
Turn it down.
No, you're fine.
It's all fine.
Whatever's making the noise in the background is what.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I know what it is. It's my fucking phone.
Erickson, your audio's fine. I'm not hearing your AC, so don't worry about it.
Luckily,
Dad,
my
you got your AC on?
sucks enough that he
I do, but I always have it on. Can you hear it?
Yeah, no, it's fine. The only time it happened was when we switched over to the new camera.
I was hearing myself because I threw the phone over there and it said powering off, but it did not.
Sure.
But there's something going on, Andy, where you're at.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fucking homes and life.
Well, maybe a little closer, man. Maybe a little closer than the property line. Is there a fan or?
There's a Facebook group, but I haven't really been on that. Hang on.
It's unofficial.
Oh shit.
Unofficial.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Still there.
There, he's got it. Now he solved it.
There, right there.
Perfect.
There we go. There.
All right.
Turns out I do have a fan.
15 minutes in. Here we go.
Perfect. No worries.
Cheers, guys.
Hey, everybody.
If it took me that long to get to the car to safety,
yeah,
I'm not worried. At that point, like,
your wife's yelling at you from the car. You're putting on your smoking jacket.
My plan was.
Where's my shaker? I need my shaker.
My
We're
exit
not Philistines, honey.
my exit strategy always involved blocking the driveway and riding the mountain bike down the side trail. Um, and,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
with
gonna
your go bag.
You're gonna have
best
to
laid
jump
plans.
the fire.
Yeah. So here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, fellas. Greetings.
Greetings.
Welcome to Issues with Andy, everybody. Here we are again. The entire West Coast is burning.
Yeah, you're on fire over in your area too, Erickson, right?
Yeah, we're all right because we live in the city, and so if fires get to us,
Nothing burns.
millions of people will be
Shit
dead already.
burn.
Yeah. It won't. They'll be done talking about that story by then.
Yeah,
So-
you'll run out
But
of.
you're still experiencing. I mean, you have to be experiencing a
smoky.
shitload of smoke because it's smoky as fuck here where we are
Yeah.
from you guys.
It is smoky, so it's not great, but it's pretty minor irritation compared to everybody else. So
Yeah.
I
You'll
decided
run
not to whine about
eventually if if the fires get close enough. Eventually, you'll run out of people to report on the fires.
it.
Like Erickson, you have some
That'll go
broadcasting,
away.
so they might.
I'll be
call
the
you
last
up.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
the fires are
Yeah, it's
right
here.
here outside of my deck.
Or some might
Well.
say to remove the idea of fires, they'd get rid of the broadcast people first.
That's true.
Yeah, you gotta be watching your back, Erickson.
Well, I
It's
just
all
hope
this
that
talk about the fires that have made the fires such a big story and such a
So
big problem.
dangerous.
They just shut up about
So
it,
fiery.
I don't know.
causing everyone to panic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think people need to just get over this hoax.
I was gonna say we need Brendan Walsh to report about the fire scam.
I go out and I have trouble breathing, but I'm not going to let that, determine my freedom or, if other people have trouble breathing, that's up to them. But I wore a mask because I could feel like, I was getting sick by being out in the air, but it's, it's bullshit.
Has there already been?
I'm trying to sound like Adam Carolla there.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about a fire sweeping over a hill. That's a liberal hoax.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
was-
From a
fucking
millionaire.
pussies.
Has there already been a guy filming himself in the front seat of his car who said that the fires were just more of a way to get people to wear a mask? Just more of the government control.
Yeah, they'll do anything, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
They just
Yeah.
want to control you.
Well, the one thing though is like, in times of crisis like this, like the whole West Coast is burning, but we got rock solid leadership that cares about each and every one of us. That has our president has so much empathy in his heart that he's right now. Don Senior's treating us like he treated Don Jr. This is tough. This is tough love. We need
I
to
feel more like Eric right now. I'll be honest.
well,
Tiffany.
he gave up on Eric. Tough love can't help retardation. So he focused his hatred on Don Jr. and Don Jr. got Daddy's tough love. We out here in Oregon, we're a bunch of liberals who didn't respect Don when he was out here speaking. And a lot of us protested, and we don't like him. But now we're starting to think, as a state, we should be nicer to the guy.
Yeah.
We need some help. We're on fire, and he doesn't care.
I bet you're wishing you went out and raked your forest now.
True.
Yeah.
That was
Oh.
the.
Here's my diatribe. Do you guys want to? This is sort of political, but it goes above political. Hey, how about we stop giving the cops fucking military equipment, and we use some of that equipment in neighborhoods to thin trees and address some of these trees crowding homes in lots of towns where they don't have resources to take care of it. So why not, instead of killing people in protest, that we focus our energies towards fire prevention and then fire safety and, of course,
I'm with you,
firefighting.
brother. I am with you, brother. I was
How about this?
making this case just last night to Kerry Mitchell. Go ahead, keep going.
Here's another one. Space. We're gonna be when the aliens start fucking giving us shit.
Wait,
We're gonna have to fuck up some reptilians. I agree.
Okay,
fuck those
Sam
guys.
Tripoli,
No, wait.
settle down.
But we need to also, instead of all this money into Space Force,
let's put a little money down here where it's burning.
This is so. Mike Clements literally just tweeted that out a couple of hours ago, or Facebooked that out. Backdoor Mike, because I responded to that because this is what we were talking about last night, and he wants to call it Fire Force because it's Space Force. Now you make Fire Force. But I think that is a good idea. And Mitchell and I were talking last night that's what some of the defunding police money should go to. We in California especially, because usually up in Oregon, you guys get fires, but a lot of times you're wet enough that they don't grow like this one has. But we get them like every year. It's worse and worse.
Yeah, wet ass pussy forest up here.
Yeah, we don't. Our pussy is dry and crackly here in California. So we got problems.
The way
we need to like double and triple the size of our firefighting units. We've been relying on slave labor to put out fires up until this point, and because that seemed to solve everyone's problem for them. But it's not going to work. We need to have twice as many firefighters. We need to have more planes that drop water and fucking flame retardant chemicals, and and then in the off season, when it's not fire season, these motherfuckers could be raking the forest, and it would be.
Think about all this footage, all this audition footage the police have given us. If anyone, if the police could go out and stomp on fires with half as much energy as they've been stomping on protesters, holy shit! The fire doesn't stand a chance if we all could come together.
If they could
trade in their pepper spray for a fire extinguisher and switch their front line, man.
If they could just spray a burning bush the way they spray a 19-year-old teenager's face, then I think we could have this problem.
Think about some of the energy it takes to pull a 17-year-old girl off of her bike and roughhouse with her and throw her in zip ties. What if you use that energy to pull her from the fire? Come on, America. We got this shit. We just got to come together. We got to quit worrying about that orange bastard.
That's what this is called. You're connecting the dots.
Yeah, that orange guy and the people who support him, they're obviously a cult. He's trying to kill us. He even admitted it to the only fucking legit journalist we all understand in history. Fucking Bob Woodward. He told Bob Woodward, and Bob Woodward tapes himself taking shit. Yeah, Woodward come out with a book. It said Trump, so it's like let us all. He knew the fucking COVID was going to be a big deal, and then he didn't. He fucking misplayed it.
Bob Woodward wrote a book, Shaylee, that is coming out. It's his second Trump book, I think. Comes out next Tuesday. Yeah. But Trump sat for like 17 or 20 interviews with Woodward.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy, but it's also funny that the next thing that happens when all this comes out is going to be Trump denying that he ever said any of this stuff, and that Woodward's lying, even though he sat for 20 interviews. But there's a tape, Shaylee, that started floating around today. The big thing is actual audio of Trump and Woodward talking when Trump admits, I think it was middle of February when it happened, that he admits that he knew it was really bad. He's explaining to Woodward how bad it is. It's airborne. It's terrible. It's really contagious. Yeah, it's going to kill a lot of people. And but then he says he wants to downplay it because he doesn't want to create a panic. Yeah. So, he's admitting to clearly understanding that it was a really bad thing.
He's going to be the first dictator in history to be known for ham-fisted genocide. He killed hundreds of thousands of people, but accidentally.
Yeah.
He didn't mean to. He just didn't try hard enough to save us.
He fell ass backwards into it.
But he is saving the Social Security.
Yeah, now the cuts to Social Security won't matter because there'll be so many fewer recipients.
Yeah.
Good thinking, dude. That's next level. They always say it's 3D chess with that guy, and I think maybe it is.
Yeah. So Trump said.
Who was the first idiot to say that?
Can you think of one living journalist who Trump should not sit and talk to for an interview, and he did it? I can't. That's what's mind-boggling. Like he's so jealous of different presidents and shit. Now he's trying to step on Nixon's dick. It's like, Nixon taped himself.
Probably Roger Stone throwing in. Get that Woodward.
Yeah,
He's
Woodward
thorough.
never got an interview with fucking Tricky Dick because that's how he got the name Tricky Dick. He didn't sit down for interviews with fucking Bob Woodward. He got everybody else, but Nixon never sat down and said, "Yeah, I let Vietnam burn because I just thought it'd feel good." Shit, Trump admitted to doing. I mean, like, can we bump Charles Manson down the list as a mass murderer now? Can we put everybody down there? Like, Trump has gotten more people killed.
He's into Pinochet
AIDS and drunk driving and fucking selfies. I don't know. Name some others. Cancer.
Are you saying that somewhere around 180,000 Americans have backed up and off of cliffs while taking pictures of themselves hiking?
More people.
Let's just say half of that
have died.
Selfies in themselves is a fucking plague. Let's just call it that.
People have died from the way Trump has played coronavirus, then have died in driving accidents from being overserved at all NASCAR events in the history of race cars. Like, overserved is never. People at the NASCAR events, they don't get cut off as long as they can still stand on their feet. And then when the race lets out, anyway, COVID's bad. Okay, it's worse than the flu. It's like the flu. If you had the flu and you're sick, and then you jammed your fingers in your holes and plugged them up, and you just anyway.
Well, maybe the NASCAR analogy, Andy, is a good way to explain to some of these people the difference between the flu and COVID, because the flu, yes, you know, your NASCAR car is a car, much like, you know, the flu is like the regular car, and COVID is like Dale Jr.'s '88 Budweiser. You know, like, yeah, they're both cars, but there's a difference.
Listen, Erickson, you could throw logic at people all day long, and they're just going to respond with a meme.
I'm going to make a meme that outlogics them.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. You're just going to be in a. Next thing you know, you're just in a 5-hour-long meme war with the Boogaloo Boys, and you're not solving the world's problems.
And even if I win, did I win?
Yeah.
What did you win?
No.
Well,
I can attest to that.
Known, you're only as good as your last meme, you know. So you got to wake up every day.
Meme life is tough, dude.
Yeah.
You make one bad meme and everybody's out there bashing you.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You can be on top of the meme game and at the bottom of it. And you're, you know, the people who build up your memes, the same people the same people who like your memes will be hating on that shit if it turns the other way.
I know. It's the bigs, guys. It's the bigs. I understand that.
Well,
I'm in the deep end of the pool here, but
I'm starting to understand. And I like that also we were able to unintentionally come up with a good marketing strategy to help people notice us on social media, because Andy wanted us to have beef with other podcasts, but nobody seemed interested. So I like that we can just do small, short internal beefs with each other. There
you go.
We could call them brief beefs, and then we just make up at the end, because we're all reasonable people. We're all open-minded. You know, that does.
I also feel like it's better to talk shit about other people when it's the Patreon episode.
Yes.
Like, you know, I got a lot of negative shit to say. I got a lot of negative shit to say about a lot of people, but not here, not out in an open forum like this.
Yeah, and again, that speaks right to what we talked about originally. Like, this is the show. This is the show that happens. This is the show that we get up for, and we make the show happen. And then after the show happens, we all go back to the green room and we pop a beer and we put our feet up and we relax. But then we start talking the real shit. The shit we wouldn't say because we don't want our careers to be ruined.
Forget the cameras are rolling back there.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whatever the opening for Real World was.
That's when you get your up shorts.
Your up short shots, your squirrel feedings, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's when we make fun of Mishka.
Right. Yep. Uh-huh.
James Inman is the only person we can. James Inman's the only person we can make fun of on YouTube because there is absolute universal support for making fun of James Inman.
Not since he
I
threw
think I
his
just
hat.
did something Freudian, James.
Not-
both
Call
are
me.
true.
Not since he threw his hat in the Asperger ring.
Oh, that's true. Now we're picking
James
on
is like, now we're gonna get Asperger people going. We're getting Me Too'd by that group. And what that's why we got to understand that James is a victim.
Yeah, he sure is.
He's a drug fiend, and he has.
He just built. James Inman just built a really big, massive home
my
computer with
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
of big numbers and words I didn't understand.
He-
And Shaylee is supposed to suck it. I also read that part at the
I love
end.
that.
so-
It's like there's like some kind of like contest between him and I of making. I
He's
go
just
to the
dunking
Mac
on
store.
Well,
But I go to the Mac store. I buy a computer and I use it for 10 years.
You're like,
He obsesses.
Shaylee, him posting pictures of the computer he built and saying "Shuck it, Shaylee" is the exact same thing as Erickson tagging me in his dumb fucking memes. It's the exact same fucking thing.
You're like
suck it,
confused.
Chad. I'm gonna start
Okay.
tagging him. Suck it, Chad. Meme master strikes again.
yeah. Meme Joe Green.
Meme Joe Green.
Joe
There it is.
I don't want to. I'm trying
Andy,
not
you're
to.
fucking great at this. You're on the team.
Just don't, but don't put it
I
on an
didn't mean
image
to.
and share it. It cheapens it.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Yep. It's like a.
No, the argument. I mean, I've made more memes in the last 4 days by a factor of 10 than I had up until that point. But the argument about it always was because just to make the beef brief.
Here's what I can do.
Of course, memes are stupid, but if you're the one making the meme, you created the joke. The argument, and some memes are worse than others, obviously. But just reposting someone else's meme is unacceptable.
And
That part I agree with. So
Sure. If it's your kid and you want to share a picture and you go, here, everybody enjoy this is my creation. And they're like, oh, that's nice.
And if I share a picture of your kid, I'm
Yeah,
going to jail.
well, it depends on the picture. I don't mean to make a meme out of a molehill, but I got those moles out back and they're making holes. So I could take a picture and then I could do right with my phone. I got the Note 10, which is now they got a Note 20.
Yeah,
it don't matter. Everything.
I see that you do have the Note because you always do a great Issues with Andy promo every week on Twitter.
I write sloppy, but with that thing, I write like a child with a broken hand.
But that's what makes, of course you do. That's what makes the promo even more appropriate every time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like it should be its own font.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't make it neat. Anyway.
James
you
Inman
can tell when
says
the
James Inman says I don't even know what this means. 14 cores, 28
Can you
threads,
put up the
35.
picture?
I'm getting it right now. 35 megabytes cache, 3.3 gigahertz turbo boost, Intel Xeon E5 V4. Originally 1745. Got it on eBay for $168. Would any of us here buy a computer on eBay?
Fuck yeah.
But you didn't even read the whole.
Hey!
You didn't read the whole post either, Shaylee, because he says "suck it, Shaylee" in all caps at the end of that, right?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, it didn't come up.
I think it's a different post. Yeah.
Oh,
the
really?
one I read was different. Yeah.
Because
there's a
the one I
different
read
than
was
that.
directed directly at you, which made me
Oh,
laugh.
I saw
because
that
I'm
one.
like,
Yeah, this is different.
He's dunking on someone who doesn't even know he's in the game.
Yeah.
He was on. I don't know if you guys follow the Facebook, but he posted a picture. I didn't even pay attention to what he was posting, but somebody said, "Is that a minivan behind you?" And Inman got busted for being a minivan owner. And then he's like, "Yeah, they're great for sleeping in during when you're working gigs." When have you? in what reality are you driving the minivan from Kansas City to a suburb and sleeping in the car there.
I've never seen him drive a car. He had a total stranger drive him out to Barleycorns in Kansas City, and we're like, "Hey, who's your friend?" He goes, yeah,
it's kind of weird. He's not really working out.
I can drive. I can drive.
I
don't have insurance.
I took this guy that's a total stranger to go get food late night. And I go, so how do you know James? He goes, I don't. I met him before I drove out here. I'm like, I'm driving around with you?
He can be very persuasive.
Yeah, that was when they had gigs in Craigslist. Gigs ads.
Like when he yelled at Brad, like he yelled at everybody in that Unbookables movie. And but it didn't bother us. Like we were cool with his disease and we didn't let it affect us. You know, like Sean Rouse also had a disease. It was called alcoholism. And I forget what was wrong with his hands, but he was an alcoholic. And then
it formed into the shape of a vodka soda.
I understand Levine had a bit of an eating disorder. Wilkerson straight up ass hat. I don't know if that's a disease. I don't want to do the rest because, you know, I don't want Lipsky showing up here and saying, you said I'm psychotic. No, I did not.
Lipsky only paid attention to James Inman during that movie enough to know that, like, you talking about me? And then it was like, it didn't matter.
I remember the moment those two alpha wolves locked eyes outside of Famous Johnny's. Lipsky got there, and I kind of got a sense that maybe Erickson had a little blow he was holding, or Lipsky, one of the two. But I couldn't figure it out.
Travis. I don't think Travis.
I couldn't figure it out right off the bat. But you know, there's but when James and Travis locked eyes, it was like, holy shit, you know. I mean, it was like that moonlighting show. You know, they didn't fuck right.
Like Sybil Shepherd and Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah. There was so much fucking animosity in each other. They were both like fucking
sexual tension.
Through the first season, it was all back and forth. Will they? Won't they? Will they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then you just assume, you know, it's gonna happen, and then we got canceled.
Right. Like Deadwood.
Yeah.
In fact, they were gonna call the movie Deadwood, but somebody already had.
Yeah. Why did they come back for that? They come back just to kill that one dude. Terrible.
Oh, fuck.
Like, yeah, I love that picture of James. There was that episode of South Park where was it Larry the Vegan or something the Vegan, and he had to wear a life vest all around because he could drown. And then he ends up drowning.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, there he is.
Travis. See, one of the funniest guys I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, honey, we're going to a comedy show. It'll be a lot of fun. It's
He won't pick on you. They don't do that. That's
not even. Movies. Yeah, it wasn't even picking on. It was just he just looked like the guy who was going to murder everyone, and no matter what he said, he had some bits that weren't even, you know, mean or even controversial, but he still seemed like he was about to murder. Like you were tied to a chair and he was about to murder you, or like the Reservoir Dogs guy with the cop tied to a chair as he danced in front of him and cut his ear.
It's funny. I was the only one who really threatened anybody's life on the Unbookables tapings.
I threatened your life a couple times. I just don't think it made it into the movie.
Yeah,
I don't think they were around.
Like Famous Johnny's, I had, you know, I threatened I didn't threaten the audience. I'm pretty good at making people feel nervous without really saying I've got a bomb.
True.
But I had wires hanging out of the bag, was shoeless. Didn't make eye contact with the crowd and alluded that this was probably going to be my last show or something. But
I think that whole week at Famous Johnny's had the vibe of everybody's last show.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like if you came to that, you were watching all comedians who were like it seemed like a show that was happening while an asteroid was hurtling toward Earth, and we all knew it. So everyone's like, all right, let's fucking go up. We're going out. I mean, it was fucking batshit.
Yeah, Inman.
Not sure if
Inman
that
seemed
made
to
it
be
into
the
the
only
movie.
one. Inman seemed to be the only one worried about fallout.
He was doing
Like-
doing his bit about the weather.
Well, but we did go to, you know, we we did go to his home turf, and he had to work at that. You know, it's like a club in Kansas City area, so of course he wanted to keep it going, and then but he brought us in there, and then the guy, you know, Inman told us it was cool. He expected and then I mean, you know, when we got there, he's like a fucking leftover from Happy Days. All fucking glassy-eyed, going, "Hey, which one of you guys wants to do the announcements? We got Taco Tuesday and Wacky Wednesday and T-shirt Thursday." And
we're like, we're gonna have the guy dressed like the devil do that.
It seemed like Inman pranked this guy, like, you know, but then Inman like,
didn't
no,
explain it
we're
right.
gonna just kind of let's just
Gonna
kind of
be
make it
fine.
work, you know, let's make it work,
Yeah.
be professional.
And then Lipsky on Friday night during the late show, because we split up, we broke it up who went up each show. And Lipsky was on the late show. And by then he was just as drunk as he could be. And then he did his famous fucking his dead mother bit. And that took a lot of the air out of the room. And that's when the owner made the decision that maybe the Unbookables was a bad idea for the whole weekend. You guys have already played one night. That's probably enough.
Wait, that was first night?
Yeah.
They pulled that out first
we
night?
It's only a 2-night thing.
Oh, okay. So I was with that dude when Sean was on stage. Like, I think Erickson went first, maybe Sean went second, or maybe there was a third, but Sean Rouse was killing. He was doing the tsunami bit. I'd never heard it before, and I was in the back room with that dude, the owner, and I was laughing back there. I was like, holy shit, Sean. Of course, Brett went a little over what this guy perceived as a time, and then and Sean was running the light. Sean didn't give a fuck about the light.
Wait, Sean Rouse ran a light somewhere?
He ran the light like a motherfucker, but he was so funny. And that guy in the back room was like, none of you guys are professionals. None of you guys pay attention to the concept of
hired
playing this shit like I'm a sympathetic ear, you know? And then he gives me, so I'm back there and he gives me this shit. And then he goes, I'll be in the back of the room. And when I wave my phone, get off the stage. And then he left, and then I was like, okay. And then I took my shoes off and went Unabomber look. And then he waved his phone, and I go, I see your phone, asshole, or whatever, you know, fuck you. And then that, you know, and then I was on the when Lipsky was on there talking about fucking his grandmother or cancer
dead
or
mom.
whatever, and he goes, he's fucking his grandmother, his dead mom. How is that comedy? And it's like I couldn't answer him, but what I was watching was comedy. I don't know. There was no camera around, but what I was watching was the darkest of comedy. I was watching a guy who was a fucking rube who ran a comedy club. Feed his audience something so fucking repulsive it made him lose his beaver cleaver luster. And
he was like the Tiger King when the show went wrong. You know, like he brought a show in that he all of a sudden realized he didn't have control over.
Yeah.
And what was happening to the people who came to see the show was a massacre. And so he wasn't happy about it anymore. And it's almost like at some point he realized that booking a show of a group called Unbookable seems somehow to have been a bad idea and a surprise to him.
It's not ironic. It's not ironic. Jesus Christ. What the fuck?
That gig was that was the epitome of comedy. It was in a strip it wasn't
mall
what it was sort of a strip mall, but it was like a 2-level strip mall. You come out, you go out a back door.
Don't try and pretty it up, Andy.
Yeah.
I know.
A 2-level
strip mall.
Yeah, it was a double-level strip mall.
I see a meme in my future.
You could go out one door and you could go down a flight of stairs and be at Hooters. I am not shitting you. You could leave Famous Johnny's and go get better food.
Because here's what it was. It was on like a main road, and the Hooters was on that level. Isn't this how it was, Andy?
Yeah,
like, and
yeah.
then if you turned at the street light and went and took a right and you went around into the parking lot, Famous Johnny's was in the back, but it was up the hill. So Famous Johnny's was on the second level in the back. So you would walk to the steps and go down the steps, and you could be out front of the other one.
And as a play up, I just happened to notice that.
But
right
it was
away.
a strip.
Like there's a Hooters down here. Where do you keep your
remember.
girls' basketball shorts? You guys got your own laundry facility here at Hooters? Yeah. So fucking famous.
Where was Famous Johnny's at? What town?
Kansas. It wasn't
City.
Kansas City.
It wasn't. It was in.
It was at over some fucking side road between here and there where you get your fucking booze out. State line, fucking Hooters. Fucking Kansas City when you want to go get a late night. I was in Missouri, but it was close to the border, right?
I don't remember where it was in regards to the city. It was just another one of the guys who tried to take on the Glazer brothers, Stanford and Sons, monopoly of Kansas City. So you'd play anywhere you could, just to not play for one of the Glazers. So,
I think the comedy wars are over. They've been replaced
by actual wars.
Fires and famine.
Yeah.
COVID. It's okay. Yeah. We'll get over it. We'll get a president who's not directly trying to kill off the population. We'll, get out there and vote. What the heck?
Andy and I were talking the other day on the phone about how we need to start writing a set for like Mad Max. You just start working on your set now for when it's supposed
Fury
to.
Road.
Yeah. You just got to start working on those materials now because it's happening. So you want to be.
Dystopia is definitely a flavor.
Yeah,
circulating in Hollywood.
I told Brett as I was driving around through ash. Not that many cars were driving around early, and all the ash in the morning. And I was like, I'm expecting to see Mad Max and his daughter. Like I feel like I'm in a prequel. I was like, the fire started, and then the nuclear bomb went off when the orange fucking shitbag lost by a landslide, and then, and then we're all running around trying to find our own breeders.
Yeah, exactly right.
You get one breeder, you're good, but that dude. Every time I see that movie, I think of a futuristic Trump. He's got his back all fucked up, and there's a kid blowing dust on him, and then they put an armor on him and this thing, and he comes strolling out and going, "All right, now who wants some water?"
Andy, you're saying the feral kid was Mad Max's kid?
Not that shitty one, not Mel Gibson.
Oh.
That fucking.
No, he's talking about Fury Road, the last movie.
Fury Road.
Yeah.
It
was a good film.
The original one's the good.
The original one.
Original one was good too.
I thought somehow Andy thought
I thought all
kid
three
was
of
Mad
the
Max's kid. So I was like, what the fuck?
No, but I think that our current situation is a lot closer to Fury Road than the first three. It is like that, where it's like there are going to be these like Thunderdome. I'm referencing one of the old ones, but like those kind of situations where it's like, come, here's your water, I give it to you. You can have it, but no one else.
Or Dune. It's like Dune with the fucking. The big fat guy that floats around, that could be our president.
That's hey, they're putting out a new Dune.
That's a meme right there.
Forever.
Yeah.
We were talking about
came out today.
In reality, it'll be Henry Phillips on the front of the truck as highwayman with a guitar. And I'm not really trying to do music in this thing. Shut up, Henry. Shut up and play.
Play to your strengths.
All right, man.
It would be the funniest if there was a Fury Road open mic and like a bunch of guys were just doing like angry, post-apocalyptic, I can't get laid jokes, and then Henry came up with his guitar and was like, trying to play a fucking song.
He would get nothing from the Blood Boys or the what they call them dudes. I always watch Fury Road. When I watch it, I try to pick one that looks the most like Sean Rouse. They show those underweighted ones that don't get to drive anywhere. It's all coming true.
It is.
Yes.
We had a good run.
And there is a little nod to the Mad Max of the old. I saw somebody yelling at a cop. Also I saw, this was weird. I saw a guy, one of the homeless. I call him what do I call him?
Homeless.
Well, the pirates.
You already said it.
Fuck! I had a good name for him, but there's one who looks just. They're pirates.
Well, that's a name for a homeless person. A pirate.
He has Pirates of Despair.
The Pirates of Despair.
Anyway, well, they're so they live on this sidewalk. I see them all the time, and they got their bigger stash of shit around the corner of the church that went out of business because the collection plate got a little empty. Promises got a little thin. There's probably a schism. Anyway, so all these guys kind of live across from Weimar, but I drove by today, and I didn't have my camera to go, man. But the one-eyed pirate, was sweeping ash off the sidewalk, and it was like, holy fuck, man! I could drive places and I can get other meals and stuff, but it's like it's over. Fucking homeless pirate is taking fucking the time to. I mean, it's that fucked up. He's sweeping his sidewalk area.
It's kind of the least he could do. I mean, if you think about it.
He's probably just bored.
He occupies the space. When we first moved to this area, we saw there was a homeless guy that walked around all day pulling weeds along the sidewalk. And I was like, this place is fantastic, man. The homeless guy is making himself useful. What a fucking
That's a great idea.
Idyllic place, man.
I mean, you got to occupy your time.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, look, if you do that, if you really do pull the weeds around your neighborhood, especially like in West Hollywood, if you were a homeless guy and you pulled the weeds that were legitimately for sure weeds and not someone's planted thing, and then you were the guy, and then you were the, I meant you, Andy.
There's that angle too.
But then you could sit at the 7-Eleven and
I love how Andy immediately fucking cracked up on that, Erickson. Like he was like, "Oh, got you, Bob's your uncle."
Well,
He knew.
Well, I told you. I mean, everything. That's why we're fall back a little. I'm giving a little reveal here, but I talked about that. But one time when I was in my place on Oakway Road, this nice Mexican grandmother type knocked on the door and said,
"Is that your old house?
Yeah.
Or before you got married?
Yeah. No, my old house. I didn't have shit before I got married except a hairdryer.
Well, I'm trying to put a timeline.
Pretty good sense of some fucking bad rock. I had those
hairdryer, rock t-shirt.
I had them hydrangea bushes, and a nice grandmotherly Mexican lady said, she wanted. I started to sound like Hennigan, but
you should have done it,
and
man.
I won't even do it because we have enough trouble right now. But anyway, what she said and what I gathered on the step, looking down on her. And not because I felt like I was better. Well, yeah, I was a homeowner and she was asking a favor of me. But I said, sure, lady, go ahead and have one. She wanted a hydrangea flower. And, and then it was her. It was, I didn't ask. Went about my business until I looked out a side window and saw a crew with professional fucking trimming tools. A crew, like 4 dudes out there. Stripping.
She asked if she could cut a flower off of your bush.
No, she was the 24-hour man that advanced the crew coming in to remove all the hydrangea bushes from Andy's yard.
I think we missed the thing, though. She asked him in Spanish. He didn't understand what she said and assumed that's what she wanted and said, sure, go ahead.
I'm pretty sure I didn't say you and Menudo can take everything. Everything that's blooming.
But you don't know, Andy. You don't know what it means. You may have answered yes to that.
So
but I feel like we covered this ground. That's what I started to fall back. But anyway, so I mean, and then it's like basically she did to my hydrangea what this other crew did to my bike, they left, and I was like, whoa, man. You know, I went out and protested, and then it's like,
Andy, you don't trim hydrangea bushes, right? I
Well,
mean, now.
Well, yeah, you don't ever?
No.
Really?
They keep coming back every year. They keep coming.
Well,
you don't have to. You can cut the flowers.
The deer, but that's what they did.
Well, that's what she asked to do.
I know.
And they sold them.
But she trimmed them like she's trimming some boxwood, some fucking topiary.
You know, they had some other grift with them. You know.
Were they selling them at the cemetery after this?
They sold. You know, they're you know, maybe she was giving them to Susan Getz to tape to some babies or something for her photos. I don't. Is that
And Geddes?
And Geddes.
That's a deep callback from.
This is what it is, Chad. I just realized it. This is like talking to Andy on the podcast is like a funny game of trivia we get to play. Like he tells funny stories, and then we get to be the first one to guess what it was. Because I was like, "What is the name? What is the name?" And then you said it, and I was like, "Damn it! I was this." Fuck, I was close to that one.
I think everyone got a point on that because I said Geddes.
Yeah, there she is, right?
I said Geddes, and then he said Susan, but then you said Anne. Yeah.
There's this. Yeah, we got all
that's
these.
funny. Tape them to a baby.
We got these Susan Branch books. That's where I got confused. Susan Branch is a lady.
Now that one I don't know.
Folksy ones, cookbooks for the ladies and the ladies, and then you could write about special evenings.
So you mean cookbooks?
Yeah, so there's cookbooks
romantic novels
that have you know like fucking little you know personal notes in there, you know, like you know
like
after I made this.
I'm not sure what's the picture here,
exactly.
Andy.
Before I read your recipe for key lime pie, I didn't think these stories were real.
I never thought it would happen to me, but I made a perfect cheesecake.
I thought the cheesecake was warm, but the fingers sliding in me were even warmer. Like, now I don't know about that, but you know, they're special things. But one of those is like in the go bag. It's a baby book, you know, which I guess there's a baby book for my kid. So that's in the go bag, not my go bag. I don't have anything. That's disappointing. Yeah, there you go. We got that one. Yeah, you should read about me in the 80s in that summer book. You wouldn't believe it. Andre's Cafe. Are you kidding me? You can't serve food with no pants.
I don't get that one. Still funny to me.
You can certainly eat food with no pants, right, Andy?
Like, that was like an Andy Andrus joke generator. It just shot out some funny words in an Andy Andrus style.
They're all not winning.
I mean, I'm sure it actually did make sense, but to me, that's what it was.
I'm with you 100%.
It's still funny.
I'll take the premise in my maroon wagon down, and I'll find Frog if he's alive. I go, hey, Frog, man, how's the fire treating you? I got some jokes for you in my wagon to sell you. He'll be like, I don't buy jokes. You know, fuck you, Frog. You're a hack. You steal them, dude.
Yeah, what's he doing right now? He's sweeping off his sidewalk?
He's not writing new material because he's already gathered it, you know, from old Playboys. I don't know, man. You know, I mean, it is sad. It is, you know, the situation out here does suck because
brutal, man.
There's new, you know, like new homeless, and yeah, I can't imagine it's fun for anybody out here.
Well, the other shitty part is that, you know, obviously everything is off to the east of you, which means behind you is water. Yeah. So. Like all the fires, everyone's trapped between fire on one side and water on the other. And if it comes at them, they have to go through it like a running back finding a fucking hole in the line. You know, you can't just go west because you're going to run into the Pacific Ocean. So at some point you have to go around it or through it or something.
Yeah. Who saw this coming, right? You know, I thought I'll die natural causes or I'll get in a accident. I'll ride my bike without a helmet. Well, that's off. I was gonna ride on the Mackenzie River Trail without a helmet. Well, that's off. Mackenzie, you know. But I can. as an American, I can stay in place and wait for the fire to consume me due to the government's inaction.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is my right, and they will not take that from me. Stay
Andy,
here like Harry S. Truman. Or I don't know about
Suicide
F.
by bureaucracy.
Andy, you're not fucking shitting. That's the truth. Whenever we had this big fire, I don't know, 8-9 years ago up here, right on the mountain range next to where I live, the fire came down within half a mile of my house. The whole area was evacuated. I fucking stayed here and ran water hoses on the roof, ran water hoses on the bottom. Smoke was everywhere. I had a burnt oak leaf come spinning down and land on my roof. There's not an oak tree within 5 miles of me. This fucking fire was just creating this wind that came off the mountain. I could hear people's propane tanks exploding whenever the fire got down on their places. It was intense, but I definitely was the captain that was going to go down with the ship.
Alert.
I wasn't going to leave. They tried to come in, but they did try to come in and be like, "You have to leave," and I'm like, "Fuck you, get off my property." And they had to be like, "All right, well, you better not be out in the streets, or we'll, arrest you."
I would have left.
And
once you leave your property, you
that's
go out in the
it.
street, then
Yep.
it's martial law. They can arrest you.
Here's the other reason I stayed home was because we live down a dirt road that's a dead end, and I had to chase at least 6-8 people out of here. There were people going through looting these dirt roads, knowing that there was nobody at
gone.
these houses. I was the only one for a couple of blocks.
Yeah.
I walked down because I knew we were going to lose power and water. So I had a generator. I filled my bathtubs full of water so I could still run my toilets.
good
But
idea.
then I
Good idea
walked
there,
around.
Damn, where were you when I was
Hey,
camping?
James,
man?
start
Damn.
filling
Yeah.
the tub.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got
And,
music.
Also, then what I did is whenever I knew there, I could walk around the neighborhood, I walked around and I found above ground pool, neighbors that have above ground pools, and I'd fill buckets and take it back to my place.
Oh,
That way
buckets.
I could use my
That's another one.
bath water
Okay.
for
Andy,
drinking
come on.
water if I needed to, and use the pool buckets to flush my toilets. It was I loved it.
it's
It felt
crazy,
like it was the end of the world, and it was
That
a lot
is
of
Fury
fun.
Road.
I
Yeah, no,
highly
I think that was-
recommend
They
staying
were
home,
filling
man.
up,
It was
filling
good
up
time.
their
Oh.
cars.
Yeah. Huh. Shit, man. I wish a fucking helicopter would show up, and then I'd be like that. Last minute, I'll do like that Will Smith movie. I gotta stay behind. I take care of the dog.
Oh,
one where- I am Legend.
it's Andromeda
I am
Strain.
Legend.
It was the remake
No,
of Andromeda.
Legend.
I am
No, I think
Legend.
it was Legend.
Legend. That's what it was.
I am
Yeah, they
Legend,
take off,
yeah.
and then the helicopter blows up, and then he's like, "All right, cool. Go home, cook some shit, watch the Today Show."
Oh shit! All right, you guys. Let's
Boy, that
wrap this up.
PO box is in the South Hill fire zone, but
Yeah, don't worry about that right now,
Yeah.
guys.
no, it'll get to me.
Send water.
The Postmaster General is going to see it delivered to me personally.
Venmo Andy a bucket of water, please. He
Fuck,
could use
yeah.
it.
Oh, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Globetrotter trick. When the fire gets
Hey.
close, I'll throw confetti at it.
Gender reveal confetti. Oh shit!
Even
Hey,
out, man.
Andy, what's the latest with your special? Are you getting closer?
Yeah,
to,
Oh,
yeah.
I saw that. I saw
I
that.
haven't
Shit, I
talked
should have made a
to,
slide for that.
Them, but
That's all right.
I think it's going back and forth between the sound editor in Austin and Provenza, but it's close to final stamp of we're finished.
That's good.
And
Very excited
gotta
for
pay.
that. So look for that, everybody. The new Andy Andrus
Oh,
comedy
I know what it
special.
is. And
The
you
title of
tweeted-
it is Special.
no, it's last
Oh.
shot. It's a special.
That was
but
my.
Greg,
that was
Greg's
my
good.
idea.
Yeah, go ahead, Greg. I know what
Hey,
you're saying.
you tweeted something, and then I'm like, what is? It said
didn't make
coming
sense?
soon,
Oh,
but it's
right.
like-
yeah.
but
I
it's
know.
like
I fucked up on that.
October- Had
October
a
is
date.
next month.
I
Yeah.
know. Because people
October,
think it's
it could
think
easily
it's
be
a show.
misconstrued that we're doing a
Right.
show
Hey.
here at the
that
Funhouse.
was the quickest one I found, and I, with my reading glasses, I had everything packed. Like I cleaned out of the
Wait,
suite.
so you think a
cleaned
bunch
the
of
suite.
Andy Andrus fans are going to roll into the?
Well, I mean, Was it for a T-shirt? What's going on?
What?
It put me in a spot, Shaylee, because I wanted to support him, but I didn't want to retweet such an erroneous.
So egregious.
I don't.
Somebody's
I
showing
don't know.
up. Somebody's going to show up for the taping and kill Doug with the corona. Yeah, no, that was an accident.
And it's called Last Shot.
Nobody talks about when you're on the. Nobody talks about when you're on the football team and you let the retarded kid run a touchdown and he resents you for it.
Yeah.
You condescending prick. Fucking
How many yards on that run?
I was trying to help, man.
Yeah, man, come on. We're not recording those yards. You never see those in the newspaper. Retarded kid, 175 yard on one rush. That's bullshit, man.
Retarded kid. Like he doesn't have a name. That's what's on the back of his jersey. I don't know what his name was.
It's like those new basketball jerseys. He made a statement. He's like, retarded kid, I want him to know. I think they gathered that when everybody just opened up like fucking I don't know. I was gonna do some Bible reference, but I don't have it. Like the Red Sea.
The Red Sea got parted.
Moses, you know why? Moses was a fucking drunk.
Yeah, is that what it was?
He wanted to get to the bar, and it was happy hour, and he's like, "Fuck, we're never gonna make it with this."
Yeah,
and he's like, he had a favor from God, and God had he had pictures of God fucking some teenager. That's all it was. They weren't business associates. Anyway, we closed already.
I love you guys. Yeah, it doesn't matter. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a break and we're gonna come back on Patreon.
I found it.
And
here it is.
There it is, right there.
Look,
I just want to see the special.
17th to the 19th.
I know.
Album taping.
There should be
and that's
2019.
3 nights. He only did 2 here.
People are gonna show up at the Funhouse. Because of that tweet, people will show up at the Funhouse in October.
But 2021, 2024. Like make it.
It's a Saturday, Sunday, Monday show here at the Funhouse.
I think this is all muscle memory. Wasn't the end of time on the Terminator movies like 97?
But look, hey, just look at the picture though. Look at how prophetic. Look how prophetic the fucking whole.
That's why I posted it.
That's why it needs to hurry up and get out.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Prophetic or evidence?
Not evidence.
It seems like Andy knew this was going to happen.
I went out and helped a little fucking squirrel recover from the fucking fatigue of this thing. I've laid out some of my dearest seed out in the Mackenzie River area. I wept while taking on that river. I wept out my one eye. My one eye filled with the biggest, creamiest white tear, and then it just soaked into the ground out there. But I love that. The Mackenzie River, that's where that lady with her Bible music, that's in the evac zone. I'll go visit that. That's all Deerhorn Road and Walterville, where Kip Kinkle's former house might be burned right now. Poor kid. Adult.
Poor kid.
As if that family hadn't been through
enough. I know.
enough with torturing that family.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that family's dead, except for the cheerleader.
Oh, God damn it,
Let's wrap
Chaz.
this up, man. I got to get a drink and take a leak.
All right, I'm sorry. All right, subscribe to Chaz's Twitch channel. Sometimes he does a Twitch stream. A lot of times he just cancels it to go podcast. So sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. But it's great when it is, and you should. So do that. You get a free one with an Amazon Prime membership, so you can just use it on Chad. Also, Doug Stanhope's new book is out on Audible.com. No Encore for the Donkey. Go get that. We have merch, Issues with Andy T-shirts available at DougStanhope.com. We're coming back on Patreon. I'm Brett Erickson. That's Chad Shank, Greg Shaley, and Andy Andrus. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.
Let's burn this town. When you go out and jerk off.